or whatnot. So, what is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, mental illness here. We got Nia Renee, How to Love a Battered Woman. We are talking,
Gang.
gang. Today
Gang.
we're doing things a little different today. Today we're gonna be talking about the Chrisean Rock. Is it Chrisean Rock? Chrisean Malone? What is
Yeah,
Chrisean Rock?
Christian Rock.
Yeah, Blueface. Di- Dynamic. What do they have? They have a lot going on, y'all. Yeah, so if y'all new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a diagnosed narcissist. I, raise awareness for NPD. I help get more people into therapy and, help validate the, abuse victims and things of that nature. I'm going to let Nia introduce herself. So we're going.
What up, gang? Yes, my name's Nia Renee. I discuss a variety of topics between abuse, domestic violence, surviving domestic violence, sexual assault, childhood trauma, abuse of parents, and then an array of chronic illnesses.
An array.
An array.
An
I
array.
got a lot.
It's an array. Okay, y'all. So the Chrisean Rock Blueface whole dynamic is so for me, honestly, it's I get annoyed by it now. I just feel like it's too much. You know what I mean? I saw something on Twitter the other day that popped up and said Chrisean Rock and Blueface or domestic violence, domestic violence. Domestic violence something. They were domestic violence influencers. That's what it was. Domestic violence influencers. And I was like, that is true. It is super annoying and things like that. And just kind of watching the most recent interview that they did with on the No Jumper podcast. I know you had some thoughts on that one. So Nick, I can't hear you now. I don't know. I think you muted it. It's got a mute. It's got like the mic cut off on it. Talk now. It's back on there now.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Woo.
Okay.
Struggles. All right, my bad. Yeah, I was seeing the TikTok videos, and before I made a comment, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch this full hour and a half interview because I'm not trying to put a comment out there until I see the full dynamic and the whole situation. And after I watched it, I got mad.
Yeah, it was a rough one because what you see online, what I saw online the most times was her like getting drug out, kicking and screaming, kicking the TV and things like that. So
yeah, the picture is painted that she is the aggressor.
I mean, the picture was painted because it looks that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blueface is calm and cool and collected on the podcast. Mm-hmm. He's chilling. He's like, y'all. He's trying to act like he's soft spoken. Like, y'all see what y'all doing? You see what you're doing?
Yeah.
Just chill out. Like, we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
And then she's right there drinking and stuff like that. So the alcohol gets involved in the situation. It doesn't make anything better. But
they're both drinking.
They're both drinking. That's what I'm saying. They're both drinking immediately.
And they're trying to make it seem like she's the one that's got the problem. Like he's not also drinking. Anyway, we'll get into it. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like you see the dynamic. So a lot of times on my channel, y'all hear me tell me. I tell people a lot of times like controlling your reactions. It's like a superpower when you're dealing with toxic people, narcissists or not. A lot of people online are calling Blueface narcissist, and some people online are calling Chrisean Rock a narcissist. They're like, she toxic, she more toxic. Bruh dodged the bullet, and things like that. Like you know what? After seeing that reaction right there, I'm on Blueface's side. I'm on his side now. You're like, look what he has to deal with. Look at all the stuff that's going on in their life, and like the stuff that he has to deal with. I was like, yikes. But it's perfect for him because it makes him look like a cool, like he's done nothing wrong. It makes it sound like he's just chill, and she's overreacting because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
A lot of people in that circumstance would see what she's doing. Not a lot of people, but people do. They talk about narcissistic, toxic abuse or whatever. They see that as reactive abuse of what she's doing. Like she's reacting to him.
Yes.
Is it an overreaction? Oh yeah, absolutely. So just to me, I like if you were just like walked outside, just chill. Nobody would have said anything, but it's just like it's on brand. It seems like now it's on brand for her to kick a TV and to kick and scream and stuff like that. I was like, come on now. I was like,
I don't know. I feel like I disagree.
What, with her kicking the TV?
I disagree with the evaluation because mainly because I've been in that situation. I feel like I was so triggered watching it because I just know what she's feeling.
Yeah.
And when you're in those moments, your emotions, I'm not saying that she wasn't out of control because she was, but the emotions that are coming through her, and then her being manhandled, and then her man's trying to play like he's the victim, like he's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
But he, even in his words, he's like, y'all better body slam her or I will. Y'all need
Oh
to
yeah.
do this or I will. And she's just, all she was saying was, I don't want to talk about this situation. Let's
Yeah.
not talk about this situation because you're trying to act like you didn't hit me first.
Yeah.
And then I think what gets me, and I can't speak for her, but what gets me is how calm he was.
Yeah.
Because nothing about that, like my ex would be sitting there and I'm like, why are you acting like this? Like, why are you doing that? And he's like, I'm not doing anything. And then the gaslighting starts to happen. I feel like I'm losing my mind, and then I go crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I've been there before. It hasn't been as big as outbreaks like that Chrisean had,
Yeah.
but I have physically reciprocated.
Yeah. But so
Before.
so when you physically reciprocate, you don't feel like that's an overreaction to what's going on in the situation. Like would you if he's sitting there calm and you well off and hit him, is that not so you feel like?
Well,
There's a dynamic. I know what
I've
you're
never
saying.
hit first.
No, I'm just saying. No, I know.
But,
so I know what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you. I understand 100,000%. I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying 100,000% because I've been in this situation with Blueface. I'm chill and everybody's just like, look what you got to do. I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then you got your boy on the podcast.
And he's not helping.
Oh no, he was definitely not helping. No, he called him a good dude. Like you got a good man here. I was like, yikes. It was like you got to control her and stuff like that. And yeah, that body, I forgot about that body slam part right there, where he's like, y'all need the body slam before I do.
Well, but even the what's his name, Shark or whatever his name is, he was like,
Sharp.
Yeah, he even said himself, like, if you was my bitch, it wouldn't be me. You wouldn't have gotten away with none of this. It wouldn't have been me. You would, like, you could tell what kind of time he's on. You could tell what kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I felt like they had already made their minds up about her before she sat down. She was in the deficit before she even sat down.
Yeah, they set her up.
So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, nobody was on her side except I guess one of her friends was throwing the water bottle or whatever, just splashing water on camera. But I understand that whole dynamic though. But you see what I'm saying? It's just like. I get it. That's why I tell people. I try to when I'm doing my coaching and stuff like that. It's like, look, I know it's tough. But controlling your reactions it can help you out so much. And I know I think she had an abusive childhood from the stuff that I've been seeing a lot since I've read about her and things like that. But
yeah, she's got a lot of unhealed trauma, and like even in the interview when Sharp was like, well, why do you drink and why are you drinking or whatever, that question came up and she said, I drink because I don't want to feel the pain. And it's like, I felt that because I recently just opened up about that on a video that I just did last week. Basically, like nobody talks about, what it's like. Like a lot of people talk about while you're in an abusive relationship. A lot of people talk about after you're healed from abusive relationships, but nobody talks about that in between. And when I was in my in-between phases, I did the same thing. I used alcohol to numb the pain. I used alcohol to not feel what I was feeling, and because I didn't want to feel it. So it was a really bad coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't as bad as Chrisean, but I understood where she was coming from. She's like, I drink because I don't want to feel. As she's saying that, she's drinking it because she's drinking on the show. She don't want to feel the pain that Blueface is inflicting upon her.
Yeah.
And the media is going to portray her like she's crazy, like she's the aggressor, but like if you watch that video from beginning to end, it is a clear, full picture of a narcissistic abusive relationship.
So I would agree with.
She's trauma bonded so hard.
Yeah. So I agree on that. There was a certain part about the interview when they were talking and they were like, he knows because Blueface, he knows what sells. He absolutely he's like, they don't want to hear about the good times. We got to talk about this. And he said that he's like, they don't want to hear about they didn't want to hear about the good stuff. They want to hear about our perfect life. They want to hear about what we do. I was like, oh, okay. So he was
There
already
was
on.
one thing that made me really mad was
He's
at
on
the
demon
end of
time.
at the interview. At the end of the interview, let's see if
What-
I can play it. Can you hear it?
Hi, Rob. Welcome back.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Feeling better? Very good. Thinking I'm real. You okay?
Can I have a kiss?
Bro, you was spazzing. You talking about nobody speaks for you. I get it.
I didn't want you back up
So when you start wilding out, I can don't expect me to speak for you. If I can speak for you when it's fine and dandy, I'm not gonna speak for you when it's wilding out. If I can speak when it's fine and dandy. Okay, control yourself. Make your man look like a gentleman. Why we got to talk about that's what we're here for. You see all these cameras? They're not here for us to tell them our best day ever.
That's what I said.
Hold on, but this is the part that pissed me off. Oh, hold on. It goes to hold on. This is the part that made me the most upset.
I dictate. I wear the pants. You don't tell me what I should say. I'm gonna tell you what you should say.
I'm not meaning like that.
That's what it sounds like.
No, I mean it.
Don't tell me what I should say. If I want to answer a question, trust me to answer for the both of us in the best interest for both of us. Simple as that.
I'm serious.
You're still trying to prove a point. You're not even listening.
I don't want to prove a point.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
If I'm asked a question that you don't
question and you don't like, you're gonna answer it in our best interest. That's what you said. I heard you.
We're together, right?
That making it seem like I didn't
You don't
think
trust me to answer for us? You trust me to speak for us on behalf of us?
That's what made me mad. Was like, I'm the man, so you don't tell me what I should say, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what you should say.
Oh yeah. But so yeah, that part got because I heard that part. That's why I got that. He's just like they don't want to hear about our perfect day. They want to hear about the drama, so because that's what we're known for. That's so now it's just like they have to keep perpetuating the abuse cycle in public. And like I said, she looks, but you know how the dynamic goes. She does. They paint her to look like the aggressor, but he's her that cool, calm, and collected, saying little triggering stuff to her, knowing it's going to set her off.
But you know what I will say though?
Yeah.
I'm proud of her. Because she stood up for herself. I'm proud of her because she stood up for herself. Because immediately she's like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this. Oh, okay, so it's cool for him to call me a bitch, but if I call him a bitch, it's a problem. And I see like she's like she acknowledged that, you know, she even said in one of the clips like you're gaslighting me. You're not about to just sit here and gaslight me.
Oh,
like,
she said she brought up gaslighting?
She literally said verbatim, "You're gaslighting me." Like she really was standing
because he was absolutely
because
gaslighting.
you
hear that part. You hear that part when he said, "Yeah, thank you, baby." The part of the interview that got me where he was like, what happened? He had said something to her. No, he was talking about her reaction. She was like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens." He's like, "It doesn't matter what happened before. How you respond to
what
it.
Happened now. Yeah.
Your response is what matters. Like, does not matter what happened before and before. Your response is what matters," which is absolutely true.
Did you see the clip? Did you see the clip? I sent you I believe I sent you on TikTok last night. It's from their show where basically it was what they were talking about in the interview where she hit him in the head with the glass. But like if you see there's one clip she's sitting in a car and she's got black eyes, she's cut up all over the place, she's bruised all over her body, and he was like, you want to be a man so bad, so that's how I'm gonna treat you. Yeah. Like
so I don't think I didn't get a chance. I didn't see that one.
He antagonizes, and then when she responds, he does what they always do. He plays the victim.
Yeah.
And then tries to make it seem like she's crazy. And I'm not saying that she's not crazy, but what I'm saying is that especially when you come from a place where you have unhealed trauma and you're with a person that's supposed to love you, and there's just so many things about that interview that was legitimately my physically abusive ex. So many things.
But you see the dynamic. So that's why it's just like the stuff that goes on. All this stuff goes on in the public eye, and I just feel like they have to perpetuate it. Like you can't have a healthy relationship like that. The way the dynamic goes, you know what I mean. And I also feel like there's a lot of triangulation going on between him and his actual baby mama or whatever that she's in constant competition with, which doesn't, in the end, I feel like you see typically how these relationships end. Like, she holds on, she keeps fighting and fighting, trying to make this man happy, trying to get him to pick her, but he ends up with somebody else. Not even,
allegedly they broke up.
No, hey, I saw that. I just feel like
allegedly
a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I feel
pregnant.
like, a lot of this stuff again, it's just drama. It keeps them trending. You know what I mean? I just feel like, oh, that baby ain't mine. She done been with 10 people. He's trying to, again, now he's trying to paint her out to be super promiscuous now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unless I get the credit, I see the dynamic. I understand the dynamic. That's what I'm just saying, like, and a lot of people are like, why does she keep staying in a relationship like this? And I was just like, because y'all don't understand how the mind works. And
she's trauma bonded to this man.
Why her daddy and the brother and them don't do nothing? And you hear it, man. I saw the episode where he got to fight with her daddy. She's like, my daddy used to beat women asses in front of me. And then her brother, Blueface, was talking to her brother about him hitting her, and he's like, oh, y'all done hit a girl before. I'm like, y'all, she can't win. I'm like, look at your brother, your daddy, all of them are abusive towards women. She thinks that's love. You know what I mean? And she thinks it's love. But it's super, like, and it makes her. It gets to the point now, which is like, I hate watching it now because it's just super annoying. Now I'm just like, I'm like, come on now. Like,
I wanted to watch the interview because I knew that there was more to the story.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying as far as, like, it gets them views. People watch that. Like, I will read the comments, and there's so many people that are just so down for this toxic relationship.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrifying that that's the dynamic. But I don't think for her, I don't think she does it to trend.
Oh, no, I think she's in love. I think she's in love. He likes messing with her because he didn't even have to respond. That 10, 15 tweets he started sending out after she took. That baby ain't mine. Oh, now she pregnant. She drinking. That's a great mother. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why don't he just leave her alone? Why don't he leave her alone? Man, I feel sorry for Blue. I don't feel sorry for the man at all because he knows what he's doing. I don't feel sorry for him.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
And because people don't feel sorry, and because people do feel sorry for him and see him as a victim, this is not the last person he's going to do this to. You know what I mean?
No.
It's not. You see the way the dynamic goes. Like, this is not the last person that he's going to do this to because how do you get away with doing this stuff to so many people? And, like, because people are always going to see they put themselves in your shoes and like, man, she crazy, man, just leave her alone. He's an abuse victim. I was like,
Yeah, and then Sharp just was making me so you a good man.
Oh, that's what I was like, hyping him up. I was like, what? He was like, you a good man, bro. She got a good one right here. I was like, you take care of her. I was like, yikes. And so again, people are hyping it up and making it seem like she is, the actual dynamic, and making it seem like, and I did see the part where he said that she had been cheating on him or whatever, but he's like, I'm gonna cheat, but we can cheat and it's not the same. You know what I mean? And they're like, men cheat and it's not the same because we can cheat. It's just physical. Women get the emotional connection. I'm like, that's so goddamn stupid to say. They're like, people like, these men don't cheat, these toxic men don't cheat and leave their families for women.
Exactly.
We just cheat with our bodies, not with our soul. I'm like, shut the hell up. That should be so weird to me when people say that, because there's no genuine thought process that goes behind saying that. There's just a cop out for cheating. It makes it seem like it's less than what you're doing.
They just make it seem like men are allowed to do whatever they want, and then if women reciprocate, women are just like the worst people on the planet. And it's just like it doesn't make any sense. Like you're saying, like, basically, like, especially in like the interviewer, and even the other girl was also the other host. She was also making me mad because she was just like, well, I could see where she's coming from, but I don't agree with it. And it's just like all three of them were just like ganging up on Chrisean.
Yeah.
And Chrisean's just like, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to answer this question. I want to move past this question. But if we're going to answer this question, tell the whole truth. Don't sit here and just say she hit me and whatever. This man, she had a cut. He acknowledged that she had a cut on her hand, and he was antagonizing her. He squeezed her hand where the cut was to hurt her, and then you're mad at her response.
Yeah.
So you admitted to it.
Yeah, but he admitted to it again. But nobody cares though. You see what I'm saying? Nobody cares
Yeah.
about that. It's how you respond to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how you respond to everything. Like nobody cares what happens first. Like what happens first doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
What matters is you hit me.
Yeah.
Not before. But you see what I'm saying? Like back to what I was saying earlier. Yeah, with her kicking the TV and stuff like that's the type of stuff right there. When she comes back into there, that's when you get people with the simplistic mindset, the straightforward. They're just like, oh, she came back, so she must know she's wrong. You know what I mean? So she came, but you know how the dynamic goes in the toxic relationship. She comes back into the relationship. She comes back into, oh, so he must be right because she came back. So he is the victim because she came back. And look how she's talking to and agreeing with everything and calling him daddy. Oh, that shit, daddy. Oh God, that blow. I'm daddy. I'm sorry. Please. I'm like, it's a frustrating dynamic to see online, especially like in. It's just it's two black people. I'm like, come on, y'all, not this, not this wild shit on TV. Like just again, people tune into it all the time. Now she's pregnant, but she was just drinking on the show. Now she's popping out pregnant and happy and smiling.
Well, I mean, she even said on the show though. She said like,
I'm either drinking or it's my period.
I'm either period or it's either my period or I'm pregnant.
And then Sharp is like, well. Those two don't get. I think he he's a lot smarter than what he is. He was like, those two things don't go together, though. You see what I'm saying? No, and the woman corrected him. She's like, no, she's saying it's either or.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, this. But you see the way the dynamic goes, though. So So I get it though. But like I said, but you see over. How do you think it ends? I'm just curious. Your thought process. I told you how I think it's gonna end. I think this goes on for as long as people allow it to go on with the TV and stuff like that. For her, like I said, for him, it's ratings. You know it's ratings for him now. Yeah. Because what he said it. They don't want to hear about the good stuff. They hear for the abuse,
honestly,
the toxicity.
I think that, I mean, it's going to end, I think, one of three ways. You know, she's going to go back. If she goes back.
Oh, yeah, but this doesn't, she goes back.
Well, I'm saying, though, but but if she goes back to this dynamic, this situation, she's going to get seriously hurt. She's going to seriously hurt him. Something something bad is going to happen where someone ends up no longer here or somebody's going to jail.
Oof.
That's how bad this situation is. Someone's going to get seriously hurt that you can't come back from it, or someone's going to prison. There's no other way that this situation is going to end, because they have so many times that they both have been arrested. They have so many times where they have both been under DV, you know what I'm saying? Like with the law. But I don't know. And if she really is pregnant and, you know, she's saying that allegedly it might be more than one child she's pregnant with. She might have.
What?
She might be pregnant with twins or triplets. Like there was more than one heartbeat. And even if he is the father, you know what I'm saying? It's a bad situation that is very sad to see play out. It's very sad to watch. Knowing her background, knowing what she endured, what she grew up with, and then getting into this extremely toxic situation that this is a trauma bond. Yeah. She's in this serious trauma bond. And she's unhealed. She has not taken any steps to heal herself. It's only going to continue to spiral out of control. Yeah. I don't think that she is in a position to have enough self-awareness like I was. Like, I'm not saying, I hate to use me as an example, but I had enough self-awareness realizing that if I kept drinking and if I kept doing outlandish things the way that I was doing, I was going down the wrong path. Yeah. I don't know if she has enough self-awareness to realize what's going on. Yeah. And she's just so addicted to this man, and he is just disgusting. Like, every time I see him, because ain't he the same one that said he smashed like 1,000 girls in a month or something like that? I could have swore. Let me do that while you give your thoughts, because I feel like that's why I started looking at him sideways. Anyways. Yeah, because
perspective wise with the whole dynamic, and I know people. I see one of the main things I do see on Twitter when people talk about him in this relationship dynamic. They always keep saying, "Where's her friends at? Where's her baby? Get off the floor. Get up off the floor."
Yeah, it was Blueface. He says he claims that he slept with 1,000 women in 6 months.
Ooh. Yikes. But again, you see the dynamic. Like, so with what was I saying? No, people were saying, what was I saying?
Sorry.
My mind would, no, people were just kept saying, damn, my mind went blank.
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
No, but I was just saying that, like, one thing that people say, I was talking about Twitter, right? One thing that people keep saying on Twitter is about, like, him possibly, like, no, I forgot what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. But
Yeah.
the way I feel like it does end is that if she's, like, no, it was about her. No. People keep saying, like, where's her friends at? Yeah, where's her friends? They're like, where's her friends at? Why am I telling her, like, yeah, she's not going to listen, right? She's not in that stage right now where she's not going to listen. And a lot of times when you tell people who are, like, where she's at right now in this trauma bonding stage, the more you tell them it's bad for them, the more they want to try to prove you wrong or stay in that dynamic. They want to try to, I know what's right for me. I'm going to stay in this dynamic to prove, like, I know I just got to change this about myself.
I feel like he's isolated her so much from her actual real friends and her
family.
family.
And her family. He's fighting everybody, and she's fighting. I'm just like...
He's isolated her to the point where I think her friends might be his friends. So his friends are going to go with whatever he... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so I don't even know if she has that around her where she has actual people who are like, you need to get away from this man.
Yeah. Yeah, but like,
she's a beautiful, talented woman, and this man just has destroyed her.
And I'm not just saying, and that's why people just keep saying like he's the victim here. Like, he has a history of certain things, doing stuff like this. Like, you haven't heard about her doing nothing like this until she got on that show, and
until
it blew
she got
up.
with him,
and she got on the show, and it blew up. And you see all these behaviors that start coming out now. Some people bring out the worst in you. You know what I mean? And they see that because I'm pretty sure she, like, this is, I think about her all the time. Like, I'm thinking about this dynamic. I just feel like she's going to look back at this time in 10 years and she's going to be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? She's like, I cannot believe that I was doing that type of stuff right there. I can't believe
And then it's
this.
like also like where she's from. So where she's from Baltimore, or how they say it, Baltimore. She's from Baltimore. So.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, so, you know, they grew up a little bit rougher, you know, she has a little bit of a different mindset when it comes to, but I feel like I also have that, like, not like, you know, I'm from Colorado, so I can't really speak from, you know, but like, I feel like anytime a man bucked at me, I bucked back, like, I would buck back, like, you're not about to do that and not realizing, like, the implications that come from that type of situation, because it only makes it more dangerous for you. They're going to do what they decide to do. It only makes it more dangerous for you. But I also feel like I had that same mentality for quite some time. Like, ain't no about to play me like that. Like, you're not going to talk to me crazy. Like, you know, so, you know, escalate. Like, I did not have a diffuse button. I did not have a de-escalation button. I didn't have enough awareness to just simply walk away from, you know what I'm saying, when things got like that, because it was like, okay, well, like, but I also grew up in an environment where I was taught to fight for your life, fight for your love, fight for your relationship, you know, that struggle love BS, like, that's what I was raised on and taught to. And I feel like a lot of Black people were raised like that.
Yeah. I know I was. So it's I think it's similar depending on where you are, and of course it'll be different, but like it's similar across the board sometimes in those dynamics. But I do feel like with how she was raised, because like I don't know her full background. I just remember the episode when she was like, my daddy used to beat women ass in front of me or whatever, and her brother's like, I hit girls too. So you see it starts at the top. You see it starts with the father and kind of goes down from, it's like a trickle down effect. If the father is allegedly beating on women, the son starts beating on women allegedly, and the daughter is a woman that gets beaten on. You know, it's just like you see the dynamic.
And so you think that's
love.
Yes, you think that that's the way things are supposed to be. You think that's how it was for me. Yeah. I saw the way my mother raised me, the way that the environment that I grew up in. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be treated this way. This is how I'm supposed to be treated. Hey, mamas. I'm supposed to be treated. Look at her hair.
I know, it's daddy hair. No. It's daddy dude. It's a daddy dude.
like I feel like I felt like I was supposed to be treated that way. Like that's what I thought love was. That's what I
Yes.
thought relationships were, and
Yep.
that's not true.
It just it's absolutely not true because you get into the dynamic, but you learn that it's not true. But like you learn and grow. I think she's in her early 20s, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you learn and
Yeah.
grow. Like I say, I just feel like eventually I do think so. If people ask me to predict what happens for her, I do think she eventually gets out of it, but she has to be the one that he's gonna keep rejecting her to discard and come back together. You know, if he breaks up with her, you know what happens next in this dynamic. You can predict what happens next, right? He breaks up with her publicly. We're not together. All of a sudden, he starts posting all these women online or whatever. He's partying. He's back doing his thing. And then somehow, she gets jealous. She might pop up on him, or they end up back together some way, shape, or form. But I do feel like eventually she gets away. That's my thoughts on it. Even she pregnant.
I want nothing positive for her. I want there to be a positive outcome.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not gonna manifest that for them. I'm not gonna put that out in the air.
Yeah.
I just have a
I know what you're saying.
It gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I really have a bad. Like I feel. I'm afraid for her.
Yeah.
I think that's more of what it is. Like I'm afraid from her.
Yes.
We're afraid for her because. Because like I've always seen little clips, I've always seen little things, and I always knew like in my mind like, okay, she's getting painted as crazy, but then watching that full hour-and-a-half video, I am still triggered because I went through that, like I lived that, and so I'm just afraid. I'm afraid for her. Like I genuinely am. Like I feel fearful for her, and I hope she's able to get herself out of this situation.
Yeah. So that's what I was just saying, though. That's my prediction is eventually she gets away from it.
Yeah.
I want. I'm speaking kind of from my want. I want her to get away from this dynamic because I talk to people like literally every single day about just trying to escape toxic relationships like this. This is just it's similar. It's just way more public. You know what I mean? It's similar. It's just way more public. But like nobody else is going to be able to tell her to leave him. She's gonna have to be the one to just like wake up one day. And she's gonna have
to wake up one day and say, I can't do this anymore.
No, I can't do this no more. But like I can't do
this anymore.
People like if he's narcissistic or whatever, people like him, they don't make it easy for her to leave. Because when she finally gets her strength back and tries to leave the dynamic, that's when he applies more pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when he comes back hard as hell, trying to mess with her behind the scenes and whatnot.
Oh, I know.
What's that? They have a show. They have a show, Crazy in Love or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you see the dynamic. They already painted it like they put the word crazy in it for a reason. They're trying to paint who's crazy here.
Yeah.
You know who's the crazy one? And most people, if you poll most people, who you think they would say was the crazy one on that show?
Chrisean, 100%. And nobody's gonna say. And if they're not like you, and if they're not like us,
you know,
if they're not in our community, they're going to say it's her.
Baby. The main, I think the first time is one scene. I think Blueface really revealed who he was. Is after when he ran up on his daddy when he hit her, like he kind of ran by her daddy and ran up on him. You see his face. I just like the mask came off right there. That was really him. It was just like cause you could just see him. It was just like he just ran up on. I was like that was that was him right there. That was really I was like that was really him running down that daddy and punching him. That was really him. You could see it. I was just like the soft talking, but you understand what I'm saying though, right? You get it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's just like when the cameras go off. You know what I mean? It's a different person. I get that.
And if it's like that on camera, like if their relationship is like what we saw on if we see what we saw on No Jumper, I cannot imagine because he said himself if security didn't grab her, he was gonna do it.
Yeah,
that man beats her off camera.
He said
and she be beating him up too. Off camera.
He definitely he said it. He's like y'all body slam her or I am.
He said you better body slam her.
And she didn't do anything. And then people ignored that. Like you a good dude, man. You ain't got a body slam. We're gonna do it for you. We're gonna do it for you. Like
he said because if I do what I want to do, and then Sharp was like, yeah, we're not having you go to jail. We're not having you catch no cases. He said that.
Again, I'm just telling you, you get to that show, you get to that dynamic. It seemed like he was enamored with him. You know, it was just like he was a fan of his. He was just like, man, you a good dude, man. She got her a good one.
Yeah.
She got her good like. That's a good one. I was like, y'all just, I was like, God, that's a good. You know, so I saw that down there. I was like, that's a good one. But you see, when you get into the situation, you know what I mean. I get it. So I get. That's what I was saying earlier. I want to try to make it seem like she was the aggressor in the situation. Like I get it.
No, I know. I
understand. I get what she, like. I get her. You know what I mean? Because I'm more like Blueface than I'm like than Chrisean. You know what I mean? I understand his dynamic. I understand that he wants to play that role. Him just chilling. I'm blue. I'm gonna hit women. I'm gonna sleep with women. I'm gonna do this. She can't do that though. The double standards exist in that dynamic. You can't do what I can do. You know. But then also when the camera start rolling, I'm going to be cool, calm, and collected, and I know it's kind of I know the code.
I'm going to antagonize you, and I'm going to pick at you, and
I know your code. I know the code to unlock you to get you to do it. Like, and he knew it. He's like, I'm just going to leave right now. I'm just leaving. She's like, no, what are you doing? And then she reacted. You know, because she was chilling. I was like, here you go. And then she's like, no, I got to leave because because. He knew that things weren't going to go the way that he wanted them to go. So he needed that reaction. He needs that reaction from her to paint the picture of her being the aggressor in the situation.
Like, and she's yelling and screaming. She's like, Blue, like, why are you dismissing me? Like, why are you, like, just talk to me? Like,
she said, I'm on your side. Like, I'm not against you right now.
I'm not against you right now. I'm on your side. He's like, you see what I'm dealing with? Like, she's crazy. She's got a short fuse. Like, don't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, the way he was saying it, I could just feel my rage building inside because I'm like, he's so good at this manipulation.
Oh yeah, he's so great at it. He's great at it. It's because it was a bunch of words out. What he was saying to her about the response didn't make sense. I was just like, it don't make sense, but it does. It was just like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened before. What matters is you and your reaction. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter if somebody pops you in your damn mouth. What matters is if you swing back. You shouldn't have swung back. You know what I mean?
That's exactly. I'm only laughing because it's so frustrating.
It's just like it don't matter.
It doesn't matter if I hit you first.
It don't matter if I
shouldn't have hit me back because
you shouldn't have hit me back. Yeah, you shouldn't have hit me back when the camera started rolling. That's your fault. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all.
You should not have hit me.
It's the master class. He gives a master class in toxicity, honestly, in narcissistic toxicity. You know, I'm not saying he a narcissist. I know people gonna watch this like, we are blue now, like, but whatever. You know, but a lot of people I've seen online though do think that she has something going on with her, like the mental health stuff, like BPD or something like that. I've seen. That I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to the story. It would make sense that if she had like borderline personality disorder and he's maybe a narcissist, because that dynamic can look like that. Because the borderline people, they want that love like that. They will stay through that stuff.
Or she just has a mountain of unhealed
trauma. Oh yeah, it's trauma, but like I say, it could be that.
Desperately wants to be loved. It did not matter to me. I wanted to be loved. I don't know if I told you. I just recently said this. I said like the trauma bond was so bad that this man literally punched me in my face, body slammed me on a box spring, put his arm in my neck, told me, you're going to remember who the man is in the relationship. I had a sprained ankle after getting jumped by his sister and his cousin. And after he punched me in my face, he's trying to leave the house. I'm on my knees begging this man to stay.
Yep.
That's how bad the trauma bond was.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like it could go either way.
Either
she has other stuff going on too, or that trauma bond.
Yeah, but like I said, if you have BPD and you get trauma bonded to a narcissist, it can look like. I've seen some psychologists talking about it. It's just like, I think she has borderline personality disorder just because of her reactions and the stuff that she's doing. I was like, it would make sense. And like I said, but the thing about borderline BPD, it can be worked on. It is a bunch of unhealed trauma. You know, that's what it is. It's a bunch of unhealed trauma. You just don't become a narcissist. You become not a magnet for narcissists, but you end up with a narcissistic person, it absolutely brings out the worst in you because the stuff that you're craving is the stuff that they're depriving you of. Like you're just you're super thirsty. You want that drop of water, and they're hanging like a thimbleful. And you like and then they take it away. They slap your tongue.
Yep.
Yeah, nope, you don't deserve it. You got to work harder. You don't deserve this baby. Have 3 abortions. You don't deserve that. You know what I mean? It's wildness.
Well, and that's what, but you know what's crazy that you said that, because she also said that. She was like, I'm not having any more abortions.
Yeah, I mean, because the way she talked about it is kind of wild. Like, I think she was on, was it B. Simone's show one time? Mm-hmm. And she said that. She's like, I didn't kill 3 of them. I was like, damn, girl. And then there's like, they was like, no, they're like, come on, Chrisean, come on now. No, girl. I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched that podcast. I want to watch that one too.
I just saw the clip. I saw a clip on TikTok, and it was just like,
I think it's on YouTube now.
I think it is.
I did. Yeah, I want to watch that one too.
I
feel like with this, I feel like I had to know more, because I just hate that she's being vilified for how she's being vilified. But I do agree. I do agree with what you said in the beginning of like learning how to control your reaction.
You have to, because you have
but
to
it's
when you
so
do something like that.
hard.
Oh, I know. I trust me. I know. I told you, I'm the person who learned your code and boop, 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 just to set you off on purpose. But like,
because it just brings out a different level of violence you didn't know you were capable of.
It brings out the worst in you. That's why I tell people, just like, it's a masterclass in manipulation and toxicity. What he's doing in the public eye, and he has so many people convinced that he's the victim. I like, Jesus, this is it's impressive from the viewpoint of being toxic. Like, you might be King Toxicity right now. You might be King.
Really good.
You might have supplanted Future as the King of Toxicity right now.
He's really good.
He is. But you see, that's why I say I be wanting to, like, I do want her to survive and stuff like that. Because I see it. Because like I said, I do. You want her to survive this, but like you just said earlier, I understand your reservations on just how it's going to end, because that's how a lot of people think it's going to end. You know, some gunplay or some knife work or something.
I just feel like we haven't seen anything in the public eye this bad when it came to a relationship like this. No. Ever.
Oh, no. I don't think I've seen anything like that ever. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Aside from like Love and Hip Hop and stuff, like Jocelyn and Stevie was, that got intense and but it was not like this. This, I've never seen anything like this before, but I've lived it.
Yeah.
I just have never seen it.
This
Public
next level
size
stuff.
Or glamorized and posted on a shade room every day. Reddit threads, Twitter, For You page on TikTok. It's everywhere.
It's literally everywhere. Like, literally. I started having to block people. I was just like, I'm just tired of seeing it. You know what I mean? But I mean, you got to chatting about it. It was like, we need to just hop on
we just need to just run this down real quick, because we keep getting asked about it.
I didn't know. I just feel like I could not do it justice in a 3-minute video. You know? No. And I just also feel like I could not just give my perspective on it. I feel like I needed a woman's touch on it too, because plus a black woman, you understand the dynamic, and you being to survive somebody like that will body slam you, and then you be begging them to stay. I've heard some horror stories like that before, like where the person is like, I'm not saying the Blueface did this, but like the person is damn near about to try to take your life, and then once they end, you thank them, you hug them, you kiss them. You know what I mean? Yeah. You thank you for not taking my life. Oh, I knew you loved me, and it's because at the end you like, they beat you to within an inch of your life. You're like, I'm about to die, and then they don't kill you. You're like, they love me. They didn't kill me. Oh my goodness! Thank you.
Yeah. Manipulation is so.
I get it. So I used to be because before I got into this field, I used to be one of the people who just like, why don't you just leave? Like, that's crazy as fuck to stay in that toxic. Like, why don't you just like? Because I didn't understand it.
And I hated people like you.
Yeah, a lot of people hate me. Yeah, a lot of people hate me now. So just like it hasn't went away. But so I understood. But so that's what I say, on this growth journey that I'm on now, I get it. I understand what people are dealing with. I get it so much now. That's why I see stuff like that. I just feel like I had to speak up on this issue. I just couldn't. I see it, and I see people like hashtag protect Blueface or save Blue. I was like, what the heck? I swear to God, just being a narcissist, if I see the hashtag that said save Lee and I'm the toxic one, I'd be like,
Yeah.
Protect Lee Havoc.
He's
Save
eating-
him. He's
popcorn
the
behind the
victim.
scenes.
Yeah, he probably
Yeah.
that man is shaking it. He's just like, thank you. Take a bow, Blue.
He gonna keep. He's gonna
Take a
keep
bow.
I feel
And
like
it's-
a lot of people might be starting to see through it, but I don't think it's the right people that are starting to see through it yet.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I don't know. I don't know, but it makes me sick to my like that man. He's so good at what he does.
Yeah, it's wild. It is absolutely wild how that goes right there. It
But
is
she
wild.
knows that she's being gaslit. Like she said it. She said, "You're gaslighting me." I
Yeah,
feel like she's slowly
waking up. She waking up.
I feel like
waking
she's
up.
slowly starting to come around.
The fact that she used that word is enlightening. You're gaslighting me because and I'm pretty sure he's like, this is not gaslighting. You're crazy. He just gaslit her more.
Yeah.
Where'd you
Let
learn
me see if
that
I can
word?
find it.
Where'd you learn
Yeah,
that word at? Did you learn?
I took
Did
so
you follow
many
Nia
screen
Renee?
skills.
I heard. What if she said? What if one day you see that and she's like playing one of your videos?
I would love that.
She's like playing your video on the episode. She's like,
Go
I'm
see
learning
one of my
a lot
skills.
from how to
Like-
love a battered woman. I'm learning a lot from how to love a battered woman.
Hey, I'm just trying to get like you. know?
How hype would you be that? Baby, get out the floor.
Oh, look. She said, look, one thing. Hold on. This might not be.
About me. Because the one thing about trauma, I like to know. Not trauma. One thing about trauma, one thing about shit that play with me, I want to forget.
I want to forget.
That's what I asked earlier. I'm not detour. Are you getting it?
Why do you have so much
Like the trauma, I'm talking about the situation.
He's. Why do you have so much trauma? Like, you're not sitting here traumatizing me. How you gonna ask me why I got so much trauma and you're traumatizing
But
me?
you see in his dynamic, the way he escapes culpability in his own mind and in the public eye is because she stays with him.
We was worried about your everything. We're talking about a glass cup going through your head. You trying to say? You and I like give a fuck. I always gave a fuck. You're trying to say, and you're trying to gaslight me. Just let me talk for myself. I don't like nobody setting me up in a conversation. Let me talk for myself. You're saying what you're saying. You're saying, okay, I disrespected you. Whoopty whoopty wham. I had no reason to disrespect you?
Yeah.
How?
What was the reason?
What do you mean?
If anybody disrespects
Whatever you
disrespect-
said.
Listen.
Whatever you said.
That's the
triggered
most
me.
part. Like,
Whatever you
if
said
somebody
triggered
disrespect
me.
me, I can tell you exactly what they said, how they said it, which part I didn't
You
like.
don't know
and
what happened.
triggered me.
Yeah, but
I'm not
like,
listening.
having bitch, like, all right, if I feel disrespect, I'm like,
Because you can't remember it didn't happen.
Like, all right, you been a bitch.
Yeah.
He didn't take it like how I said
You
it.
didn't get
Like,
disrespected because you don't remember what happened.
Yeah, what you mean? You call me a bitch all the time when you feel like I'm a bitch, you feel like I'm a bitch, so you gonna say it. So why can't I say you a bitch? Because I feel like you a bitch. Like, straight up.
You feel like it hurts your feelings.
So if a nigga play with you, and you feel like a bitch, and I say you a bitch, and then I'm like, okay,
Why was your feelings hurt?
you always tell me when I'm a bitch. Why can't I tell you when you a bitch? Okay, that's weird.
Listen. You can
Straight up.
Wait, hold on, Gina. You can tell me that.
Bro,
But you see that dynamic. But you got other people hyping it up. Like, yeah, you can't remember it to a baby girl. It didn't happen. I mean,
He's like, I can remember if somebody disrespected me, I can remember every single point, and I can tell why I felt it. But you can't do that.
yeah. So
She's like, well, you call me a bitch.
you
I called
gaslighted
you a
me.
bitch, and you didn't like me calling you a bitch. So now we fought. Like, he physically fought her because she called him a bitch. But he could call her that all he wants to, and
You
it's
don't
her
get to
fault.
do what he gets to do.
Yeah.
The double
Yeah, you
standards
don't get
exist. You don't get to do what I get to do. Not just because I'm a man.
And his analogy was, well, see, because she's a girl and I'm a man, so if she's a girl, she could go kiss another girl and it's fine. But if I go kiss another girl, it's a problem. First of all, that doesn't make sense. That has nothing to
He
do with
said
what we're
that.
talking about. He said that. He said, you could go kiss another girl right now and it'd be fine because you're a girl. But if I kiss another girl, it's a problem.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That better, like, again, the master. I wear my blue shirt just for that. I got my blue on. I got my blue off. Team blue, protect blue. I'm like, oh my.
She's like, you're gaslighting me. Don't speak.
I'm proud of her for saying that though. Honestly, because I feel like that's growth. I feel like that's growth. Hey, I feel like that's growth.
I told you. She said came with receipts.
Yeah, I feel
you're
like that's
not
good.
gonna gaslight me. Leave. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I feel like I do feel like that's good growth though. Honestly, I feel like that's good growth.
I feel like she acknowledged it, and she's realizing what's happening to her now. Like
yes,
she's realizing, and then even with her saying like, "You're dismissing me. You're being dismissive. Like, why are you getting defensive? I'm not against you. Why are you dismissing me?"
And then he got up, and tried to leave.
To talk to you. Yeah,
he tried to make it sound like they had to pick between me and her. It was me or her. I gotta leave. Or she gotta leave.
Either she leaves or I leave. Like,
take her outside and embarrass her more. Yeah, take her outside and embarrass her some more. You know what I mean? Just take her outside, get her out of here. Like, make her feel like she's nothing. You know what I mean? And in a trauma response, it's like the reactions is a trauma response to what she's going through. Because like the person you're supposed to be protecting you is actually, sinister as hell, just like rubbing his fingers together like this, like nice. And then she came back in there.
And it's like, if you have a problem with what I'm doing, address that shit behind the scenes. We don't you know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand the dynamic. Come on, too. You're doing too much. Okay. I gotta rid of half of this. She done made a huge like mess behind me, like McDonald's. You're doing too much. Okay. Can you say bye bye? Here, come say bye bye. Your wild hair. Can you say bye-bye? Wild style.
She gave me a little wave.
A little afro. Say bye-bye.
I know, it's so cute. And those cheeks. Well,
right.
Pinch them.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. I'm gonna hit. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. Seriously. Tell them where they can find you at, Nia.
How to Love a Battered Woman, at How to Love a Battered Woman on Instagram. It's Facebook. Twitter's at HTLABW. TikTok, How to Love a Battered Woman. Yeah.
Y'all can find me everywhere at Mental Illness or mentalillness.net. I'm on all platforms.
That's a good one. HowToLoveABatteredWoman.com.
Oh yeah. There you go. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Seriously. I'm gonna hit this stop.